One of our biggest fears is building something real, impressive even. And then you hear that fatal faint whispering that says, "This ain't it." Because listen, I spent over 2 decades building a career in corporate leadership, and I was so proud of what I built. But there came a time when I realized that that just wasn't what I wanted to be doing for the long haul. And figuring out what to do next wasn't even the hard part. It was granting myself permission to be okay with wanting something different other than what I spent all this time building that looked so good on paper. Because what nobody ever tells us is that outgrowing something you've built isn't failure, it's an option. And now you've built this life that's running on autopilot and it's asking you, no correction, it's begging you to seek out other alternatives that make you feel alive. So, friend, if you are feeling like this, let's really get into it, okay? And if you are already loving this topic, make sure that you are subscribed because I am here every day to have these kind of deep, meaningful, thought provoking conversations, okay? Because these are the things that are swirling through our minds and we got to work it out. So let's really get into it. So, how did you get here? Did it sneak up on you? Were you just minding your own business and then boom, you woke up one day and you were just like, something feels off here. I can't put my finger on it, but I don't really know what it is. Or did you wake up one morning and realize that you built something that just no longer matches with who you are now? There are a lot of different ways that we can end up here. Sometimes you've built a life based on a blueprint you inherited or someone else handed to you. Maybe you chose your career because you wanted to make your family proud. Maybe you chose your career because your family has been in this business for decades and you are the next one to carry the torch. Or maybe it was society that handed you the script of what you're supposed to do, which is go to college, get a good job, and then get a job in your career if you can, and buy a house, have 2.5 kids, and live the dream. And sometimes you built your dream. Maybe it's something that you always wanted to do, and you built everything that you intended to. Yes, the high achiever. You built it all, you did it all. And now you are sitting here and you don't really want this anymore. Maybe there's something else that is calling you forward. There are a variety of ways that you can find yourself in this space. And it's nothing to feel guilty or ashamed about. So please don't judge yourself if you find yourself here. And the beauty is you can pivot, you can reinvent yourself anytime you choose to. It doesn't have to be on a Monday. It doesn't have to be on your birthday when you start a brand new decade. You could literally decide in the next 30 seconds that you're ready to build a whole new era, if you will. But there's so many different ways that we find ourselves in this space. So, what is it for you? How do you think that you landed here in this space? Is it something that you feel that someone handed to you? Or do you feel like you built this thing brick by brick? And now you're ready to build something else, or you're just ready to feel that spark of aliveness again because maybe you just have not been present in your own life. And your own absence has created this need to seek out some other alternatives and bring that spark back. I like to call this the achiever on autopilot because whether it was a script or a blueprint that was handed to you that you have been following step by step, or it's been your very own dreams that you have made come true, when you find yourself here, you have achieved all of it. You've done the dang on thing. And you know what we tend to do? We tend to keep doing it just because this is familiar. This is what you know. You've built all of this, and it seems like maybe you're not grateful, or maybe you'd be doing yourself or others a disservice if you decided to do something new. And let me just go ahead and assure you that that is just not the case. If anyone is disappointed because you decide to make a change in your life, my mom used to say, they'll be fine. And guess what? They will be. She'd also say, that sounds like a personal problem. Mama had all the wisdom, okay? But if you are feeling that tug of war, then I do invite you to put that on pause for a little bit and let's prioritize how you are feeling. Because if you are craving something new or something more, it is okay to crave that. That is just your future self calling you forward. It is natural to outgrow some things. It is okay to get to a place in your life where you are now looking behind the curtain and now you see what it actually cost you to continue at this level. And maybe now that you've gotten the BTS, the behind the scenes of it, you like, you know what? Never mind. You are allowed to change your mind. You are allowed to want more. You are allowed to want to pursue something else that your heart is calling you to. That is what I like to call the natural evolution. You are just growing, and your current life just hasn't met you there yet. So, this is the beauty of where your dreams and your desires come into place. There had been so many years within my corporate career that I did want to climb higher than I did. And then it just reached a certain point when I realized that it just wasn't really for me. And it is okay to change your mind. It's okay to realize that the person that you've grown into no longer desires to climb any further. That is okay. So I want you to just grant yourself permission to feel the way that you are feeling and know that it is a natural evolution. So it's not something that you or anyone else should be causing you to feel any type of shame or shade over, okay? This is a judge free zone. So if that's what you're feeling right now, acknowledge it, accept it, and let's explore it, okay, friend? Because this is where it starts to get good. Now, I do want to offer you a little pause because it can be very easy to stay where you are and to continue to build along this path that a part of you knows you've outgrown this. You are ready to move on to something else. And it can, especially if this somehow changes things for others around you. And sometimes we're just afraid to do something new, and have people see us in a new light. Because in that new light, they're seeing you start something from scratch. They're not seeing you in at the same level that you once were. And a lot of times when we are pivoting into a new space, even when it's within the same field, it still does require us to be beginners again. And sometimes we don't want to be seen as the beginner. We want to be seen as the expert. So, first, let me just remind you, everything that you've built up until this point, it comes with you. You are not going to erase your expertise, your experience, all of the knowledge and wisdom that you've gained up until this point. You get to take all of that with you. So, in a sense, you're not really starting from scratch. You are starting from experience. So just know that your skills are transferable. So they are transferring with you wherever you go. And there will be a time when people do have to make an adjustment in the way that they see you. But, friend, I really want to encourage you to allow them to figure that out, okay? You got enough going on, and you have to really direct your energy towards what it is that you're building next. You don't have time to be trying to build other people's belief when you already got to build your own belief, okay? You got your own belief to build and maintain. So that needs all of your effort, energy, and time, okay? So let other people figure it out. Some people are going to be supportive. Some people are, they might think that you're crazy. They might wonder why go in this direction when you're already established. And a lot of times, this is just other people projecting because maybe they have some dreams that they've always wanted to explore and they haven't exercised the courage to do so. And if they think that they couldn't do it, then they're not going to be able to think that you can do it, okay? That's just how humans work so often, okay? So again, let them work that out, okay? Your job is to focus in on you because you are going to need your belief where you are going, okay? So allow people to have their process of deciding if they are on board or not, but your whole focus needs to be your own onboarding process. Okay. So allow people to do their thing while you focus in on yours because you're going to need your belief where you are going. And it's so important for you to remember that you have already built so much up until this point. And if you could build all of that, friend, that is your testimony. That is your confirmation that you could build whatever you want to build, okay? You can build whatever you want to build next. You've already done it. Therefore, you can do it again and again if that's what it takes. So, this is where you have to check your resume, okay? And not just the professional one. I'm talking about your personal resume. Make sure that you understand what you've built and who you've become along your journey. Because again, you are taking all of that goodness with you, okay? So, know that you're not starting from scratch. You are starting from experience. You've got to have belief in yourself to believe that you can do it. And for those who do not support or do not understand, not that you don't love them, but this is the time to reorganize access, okay? Because the last thing that you need is a bunch of Debbie Downers telling you what you can't do when you're trying to do, okay? So if they're not on board for whatever the reason, okay? And sometimes the reason, honestly, doesn't have anything to do with you. and your capabilities and your dreams and the purpose that was placed upon you. So don't take it personal. Allow them to do their process and have their journey. This is yours. And you have to shift and allow those who are close to you to be the ones who support you, because you will need support as you continue to go forward. But be your main source of encouragement, be your main source of belief, and allow those who are close to you to also mirror that for you, because you will draw strength from both. Okay. But anything that is not aligned with where you're going, it needs to be on the sidelines. Okay. Because we got work to do. Wasn't that a Vanessa Williams song? Got work to do. I'm sorry. You know I play too much. So definitely make sure that you are focused in on you building your belief, and your time, your effort, and your energy, your own special brew of tea. It needs to be focused in on you and where you're going, you and what you're building next, because it deserves everything beautiful that you have to bring to it. Okay? Okay. So, for the achiever on autopilot who has built something beautiful and now is building something new, the question really isn't, should I be building something new? Because you can build whatever it is that you want. You are a creator, okay? And you co create with God, Source, the universe, whom it is that you believe in. And you are getting this beautiful opportunity to co create your next level, your next chapter in life, your next era. So I hope that you are open to doing that, and you grant yourself the grace to allow yourself to want more. So many times we think that it makes us ungrateful, or we think that it is some way taking away from everything that has been built up until this point. And that is just not true. Everything that you built, so much of it is still coming with you. Everything that you've learned, every skill that you've gained, all of the capabilities and competencies, all of your skills, your strengths, you are taking all of that forward with you. Now is the time to explore what it is that might be calling you next. For me, within my corporate leadership career, I started to think about what it was that I did within my days or my weeks that I loved doing more than anything else. And for me, it was always coaching people. It was always meeting with my staff one on one and talking with them about the challenges that they were having, helping them to problem solve and create solutions, helping them to build their career and help them grow into whatever their next step was, to help them gain clarity when they didn't know what that was, and to help them build from that point going forward. And so much of that was not just navigating work life, it was also navigating their personal life as well. Because, friend, there is a flow that's happening, and we want you to enjoy the flow and be able to move with it. And that is so much of what I would help people do on a day to day basis. And I loved it. I loved it so much. It was really my calling, my gift, my purpose. And that is what actually prompted me to be here today. And, I started to learn what it was going to take to have my own coaching business. And as I started to work on that part time on the side when I wasn't in my corporate time, in my corporate leadership time, I was building my coaching business on the side. And I had gone to a coaching summit, one of Brendan Burchard's coaching summits, and I felt at home. Like for the first time ever, I felt like these are my people. And that was confirmation. And at that summit, I declared I will be coaching full time in 2 years. And I meant it, okay? Fast forward, God said, oh, 2 years? Bet. Because even within that time, he decided that he knew I wasn't going to move faster than I needed to, or so I thought. And I ended up getting laid off. And I felt like God had just given me the ultimate alley oop. Okay. And I took that and parlayed it right on in to my own coaching business. So I felt like it was just divinely orchestrated because I probably would have continued to push the goalpost of when I would be full time doing my coaching, if I'm really being honest. And God was like, girl, we ain't doing that. Let me go on ahead and move you because you're not going to move on your own. So just take a little note, not to say that I'm all up in minding your business, but God definitely minds my business. And if I do not move timely, he will move me. Okay. I think he has a tendency to do those things, you know? So, even if you don't know what is next for you, I invite you to start exploring that. Start with, what is it that you currently do that you absolutely love? What is it now that you're doing that lights you up more than anything else? Because that can be a really good indicator into the direction that you may be going next. So, grant yourself full permission to explore. It costs nothing to explore, it costs nothing to dream. And that is such an important message that I want you to leave here with today. Give yourself permission to dream again. It costs you nothing to dream, nothing to explore ideas. So start your next discovery phase, friend. Okay? Okay. Oh, this is so good. Okay, let's get you a journal prompt. Okay. Where am I achieving on autopilot? And what has been quietly lighting me up inside of it that I have been ignoring? Hmm. Just to get you started, friend, start exploring and just allow yourself the freedom to just free write. Don't edit yourself. Don't start thinking about how is it all going to work in my savings account and what I got to do and that. Hold on, okay? We're not doing all that in this step. Right now, the only thing that you do is just dream. That's it. Just allow it to flow out of you. Allow yourself to daydream a little bit. Allow yourself to marinate on this a little bit, okay? You don't have to rush into the how, and that's not your business anyway. So just dream, okay? Okay. So good. Okay. And meet me in the comments. Tell me, have you ever achieved something and then felt nothing when you got there? Or Have you felt something deeper calling you forward, even when everything looked fine on the outside? Ooh, friend, yes. I can't wait to continue the conversation in the comments. So I will definitely meet you there. Okay. Okay. I have loved making this video for you, and I hope that you loved and enjoyed it too. And listen, to know me is to know I love me so much, I don't play about me. And if you hang out with me long enough, you will love yourself so much, you won't play about you either. Okay, friend? Okay, hurry up. Meet me in the comments, and I will see you in the next video tomorrow.